On Betta Edu, the 585 million naira was not diverted. She gave it to a sitting accountant in the ministry, according to Dr. Don Clem Ename. Can you imagine? Somebody is coming out to defend Betta Edu now, saying that the 585 million naira that is on her neck that was to be diverted was not diverted. That was given to a sitting accountant in the ministry. So is it supposed to go to the accountant's private account, or is supposed to go to the ministry's account? And from the ministry account, can they not disburse the money to the beneficiaries from the ministry's account? That's the question. So was the account a private account? Who authorized the accountant or the ministry to use her private account to do business with government? No, now. This is just somebody looking for a soft landing for Betta Edu. But let's get into the details. Dr. Don Clem Ename, a public affairs analyst and lecturer at the University of Calabar, has claimed that Betta Edu, the suspended humanitarian minister, approved the 585 million naira transaction and forwarded it to the permanent secretary in accordance with protocol. Okay, he said that the ministry's internal auditors were responsible for spotting anomalies and raising an alarm about the 585 million naira fund. Dispelling attempts to deflect public attention from this issue, he stated that the specified sum was allocated to an accountant within the ministry rather than being diverted. So he conveyed that Betta Edu, having undergone leadership training, appointed Mrs. Bridget from the Accountant General's office as the accountant. Then he stated that to ensure adherence to proper procedure, Edu sought approval from the Accountant General's office for the financial transaction. According to him, the conventional practice of officers diverting funds to specific projects had changed, okay, with even assistant directors needing official approval. So he said in an interview with Arise TV, Betta Edu has had leadership training over time. She has an accountant posted, okay, posted from the Accountant General's office, which is Mrs. Bridget. She went all the way to get approval from the Accountant General's office. I hope you know it is not as it used to be. Officers from the rank of assistant director can afford to get money sent to their private account to run specific projects. And that was what minister did. Okay, and assuming that was not in line with the procedure. So what are you saying now? When she sought the approval of the Accountant General, did the Accountant General approve it? Of course, no. So when the Accountant General failed to approve it, why did she use her own office and her hand to approve it and then disburse the fund? So those are the questions you need to answer. And so when the minister signed, she sent it to the permanent secretary. Okay, there are internal auditors. There they knew something was wrong and they went ahead to flag it. The 585 million naira was not diverted. She gave it to sitting accountant in the ministry, and then we are trying to divert public attention from this. Can you imagine? So why is this guy now trying to speak for Betta Edu? What have you got to do with Betta Edu? How do you know Betta Edu? Okay, now she needed to move the money and she requested the approval of Accountant General. Accountant General said no. She went ahead to approve it for herself and forwarded the permanent secretary. Permanent secretary that they spotted it there and flagged it. Okay, so it means that permanent secretary has seen it and they stopped all of this because they were trying to follow a procedure that is not normal. And now they've picked her up and you're saying that she was giving it to an accountant in the ministry. Is the accountant in the ministry the right person to handle such amount? Eh? So and why should the accountant in the ministry use her own private account to receive the money? Who approved? Was there any approval for any individual in the ministry to use their private account to do ministry business? Those are the questions that they need to answer. Okay. So somebody is saying here, were you in that office? You should be arrested along with Betta Edu. Exactly. This guy should be arrested along with Betta Edu because she is trying to divert the public's attention from this case. Dr. Don Clem and Namme. So that has to stop. Somebody said, to the best of my knowledge, Betta Edu is treated as a victim of a coup plotted to deny her her job, which others may be craving for. Let the investigators do their job and come up with a report. They will know what next. All these ones are just assumptions. Trust looters to defend partners. You must be a complicit. Exactly, an accomplice. Exactly. You must be an accomplice. These are people defending themselves to find a soft landing. Okay? That money would have been lost. Remember, it was part of the 50 billion naira that was almost getting lost last year in that ministry and was recovered by ICPC. And when they recovered that money, during Tinubu's inauguration, they returned that money back again to the ministry. And 44 billion out of that 50 billion is what was almost leaving, in which 585 million naira of this Betta Edu's case is part of it. So the money was almost being looted. It was blocked by ICPC, returned back to the coffers of the government, and then it was about to be relooted again. And now it's been blocked again. So what are we saying? Yeah? Someone said she gave it to the accountant for what? Of course, to sit on it, Abby. What are you giving it the money to the ministry accountant for? What is the ministry accountant going to do with the money? Is it her job to handle such money? Someone said this is the problem in this country: ethnicity and religion. Because she is from Cross River State, okay? So you are supporting her, Mr. Don. That is it. It's tribalism. There is sentiment. There is sentimental attachment in Mr. Don's defense for Betta Edu. So it is medicine after death. Are you saying that the query of Accountant General Federation is wrong? Nigerians are not fools, man. Just watch it. Exactly. The Accountant General Federation saw what was happening and said, no, stop it. She went to approve it herself, sent it to Permanent Secretary. Permanent Secretary and his people also stopped it and then flagged it. That is it now. So meaning that she was looking for every means to fly the money, but it didn't work for her. Investigation will bring out the rest. So thank you for listening. Let's have your comment. That was a lecturer from University of Calabar trying to defend Betta Edu in this matter. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.